Hey everybody, today I wanted to talk to you about the Quad Cortex and setting up your scene and stomp modes. I think the stomp mode is probably the most used way. The scenes are great whenever you're using a lot of pedals and effects that you need turned off and on with the click of one switch. For me, I would go that way if I was programming something very large like huge swells or real ambient sounds. So I'd probably go scene mode for that. For the most part, I use the stomp mode. I find that it acts just like my pedal board. So if I want to turn on this pedal, I literally just click on it and turn it on. So it acts kind of the same way. But let's jump in here and let's check it out. All right, so inside of the Quad Cortex, if we would like to assign our stomp mode layout as we would our pedal board at home, what you would do is ensure that in the top right-hand corner, you are set to stomp. It will also be indicated by a shoe pressing down on a foot switch. And so from here, we would swipe up from the bottom of the screen, and here's our pedal board layout. So for me, I do gain staging. So from left to right from the bottom, I'll have my Keeley Katana, my Brit Blues, my Klon Centaur, and my TS-808 for solo boost. And above, you will see I have my ambient effects such as my tape delay, my reverbs, and an envelope filter. Now for me, I like putting my gain staging down at the bottom because I use these pedals all the time and they're much easier to reach. So say we wanted to unassign the Brit Blues and assign a different pedal. So what we would do is we click the edit button. And from here, you'll see in the top right-hand corner where it says F, you will see that there is a shoe once again with a foot switch. We want to press that button right there. And it says assign a foot switch. Press the target foot switch to assign, but we don't want to do that. We want to unassign. So we're going to click unassign. And now the Brit Blues is gone. But say you wanted to add that pedal back. How would you add that pedal back to your pedal board layout? I would go over here and I would click this check button and I would choose the pedal that I wanted to add. So for me, I know I want to add back my Brit Blues. So I'm going to click on my Brit Blues. So from this menu, you will see a shoe pressing down on a foot switch with a question mark. So we want to press that button. Then from here, it says assign foot switch. Press the target foot switch to assign. Once again, it's latching or momentary. So latching means it will stay engaged. Momentary means it will only be engaged while you're holding it down. So for me, I know I would like to put the Brit Blues back on F, so I'm gonna press F. So now when we exit this menu, if I press F, you will see the Brit Blues now turns on and off. And that's how you assign your stomp boxes inside of your Quad Cortex and edit your layout. So let me show you real quick on how you would assign a pedal. So normally the tiles down here, they are blank. So say this one right here was blank, or you can delete it like I did. You could come up here, I could grab my Keeley Katana and I can click and drag and drop. So now I can control it via the foot switch on the actual Quad Cortex. And that's how you assign them. Really easy, really quick, doesn't take but a second. All right, so if you'd like to edit your Quad Cortex scenes, the first thing you want to do is ensure you're in scene mode. You can do this by looking in the top right-hand corner and tapping to go through your menus, but ensure you are in scene mode. Then from there, to see your scenes and how they are assigned, you can swipe from the bottom of your screen, and now you'll see all of your different scenes. And I name mine by what pedals I'm actually turning on. So if you'd like to see what they're affecting, when you press main tone, Brit Blues, Klon, you press the check mark to exit this. And then inside of here, you'll be able to see what you're affecting. So that is my Keeley Katana. Now I'm adding my Brit Blues. Then I'm adding my Klon Centaur. Now that is the Brit Blues with the TS-808 for a lead boost. But how would you edit this? So inside of here, if you want to edit your scene, you make sure that you select the scene you want to edit. Then inside of here, I can click on this pedal. And you see over there with the power button where you see the 4 dots, that means it is assigned to the scene. So if I want to unassign it, I'm going to press and hold that power button for about 2 seconds. Now it gives me the option to unassign this. So I will unassign it and then say I want to turn the power off. So now if I were to go to scene C, you can see it adds my Klon, but if I go back to D, it no longer engages the TS-808. Now let's say I wanted to add the TS-808 to the scene. I would ensure by this letter right here that I am in scene D. And then once again, we will press and hold the power button for about 2 seconds. And now you can see on scene D, those 4 little dots on the power button indicating that this pedal has been assigned to this scene. So now I would like to turn it on. So now when I'm in this scene, this pedal will turn on. So if I go back to C, you will see it engages just the clon. But now if I go back to D, it gives me my Brit Blues as well as my TS-808. And that's how you assign different stomps to scenes and how you can turn on multiple pedals at once with the click of one button. I find it very useful when you have a very complex sound that you're going for, and that way you're not tap dancing on your pedal board. All right, so let's use this 80s Dream preset. This one is the one I used in a previous video. So let's check this out. So say I wanted to change some of those effects up. I would go to scene B, and inside of here, say I wanted to turn off this chorus. As you see by this power button, it would normally have 4 dots around it to let me know that it is assigned to the actual scene. So what you would want to do, use Control click, and you would say, I would like to assign the scene. So now I can turn this feature off, as well as say I wanted to turn off this tape delay. I would do the same thing. You see how there is no 4 dots. You go inside of here, Control click, assign to scene. So I'm gonna turn it off. So now when I'm going between my default scene, where everything is on, you can look right here, and scene B, it turns it off in one click of a button, which is really, really nice. So I can just click on it, click back, really quick, and you can add multiple layers, stacking. You can also change amps in the press of one button. So that's what I would use that for. So you'd have that. And if I want to change it, one button click. Very easy. For me, Stomp Mode is mainly where I live, unless I'm doing big pad work and I'm going to play live, then I would create a scene for it. That way it makes it a little bit easier transitioning, and I'm not over there tap dancing or hoping I got something right or having to play in between the songs to make sure that I have my sound set up correctly. But for me, that's how I use the different scenes, stomps, and presets inside of the Quad Cortex. I hope you guys have found this useful. I hope you're able to utilize these tips in your Quad Cortex to help your workflow, to kind of set it up the way you would like. As always, guys, please don't forget to like and subscribe. It really does help a small channel like mine. Don't forget to hit the bell notification below to be notified anytime we put out a new video. And as always, I hope you all have an amazing day. Peace.